It was a rainy Thursday evening when Claire found herself driving along the outskirts of rural Montana. She had missed the last exit for her small-town Airbnb, and with her phone battery dying, she started looking for any place to spend the night. That's when she saw it. A weathered sign, flickering in the storm. Silver Pines Hotel. Vacancies available. Relief washed over her as she turned onto the gravel driveway, headlights reflecting off the slick pavement. The hotel looked old, but charming in a faded, rustic way. Its paint was peeling, and the porch creaked under her steps as she pushed through the heavy front doors. A lobby was dimly lit, illuminated only by a few weak sconces and the dull glow of a chandelier hanging crookedly from the ceiling. There was no receptionist, no bell to ring, just a large, polished desk and rows of old, empty chairs. "Hello?" Claire called, her voice echoing unnaturally. Nothing. She set her bags down, expecting someone to appear at any moment. A small handwritten note on the desk caught her eye. "Choose any room. Leave the key on the counter when you depart." Hesitant but out of options, she took a brass key labeled Room 7 and climbed the stairs. The hallways were long, narrow, and smelled of dust and mildew. The wallpaper was faded, and the carpet had thick stains from decades of use. Every step she took echoed loudly, as if the building itself were listening. Room 7's door swung open with a groan. Inside, it was immaculate, almost too clean, with antique furniture and a neatly made bed. The rain tapped against the window, and shadows in the corners seemed to twitch ever so slightly. Claire tried to shake off the unease, changed into comfortable clothes, and sat on the bed, planning to rest before continuing her drive in the morning. But then she noticed it, a soft humming coming from the hallway outside. At first, she thought it was the wind, but the sound grew closer. Footsteps, slow and deliberate, moved along the carpet. Claire's heart raced. She grabbed the key from the bedside table and crept to the door. The hall was empty. Leaning out, she listened. Nothing. Just the faint sound of dripping water somewhere deep within the hotel. Trying to calm herself, she returned to the room. But the feeling of being watched didn't leave. The shadows seemed thicker now, moving when she wasn't looking. The humming returned, louder this time, a low, almost childlike melody that made her skin crawl. She rushed to the door, planning to leave, only to find it wouldn't budge. No matter how she'd twisted the key, the door was locked. Panic set in. Claire ran to the window, hoping to climb out, but the fire escape led to nowhere. Just a drop into darkness. The humming grew into whispers, low and unintelligible at first, then forming words she couldn't believe she understood. "Stay, forever." Her flashlight flickered on her phone, casting a weak circle of light. That's when she saw them. Figures at the end of the hallway, pale, motionless, dressed in hotel uniforms from decades past. Their faces were featureless, smooth like masks, yet she could feel their eyes drilling into her. One tilted its head toward her, and she felt her body freeze. The whispers intensified. She tried the door again, still locked. The figures began moving, sliding along the floor instead of walking. Claire stumbled back, breath ragged, and ran to the nearest chair. She pounded on the door, screaming for help, but the sounds echoed back as if swallowed by the building. Suddenly, silence fell. The figures vanished. Claire thought she might have imagined it, but when she turned toward the bed, the brass key was gone. In its place lay a small folded note. "You'll find another room, eventually." Terrified, she backed away, her mind racing. Hours, or maybe minutes passed. When she finally dared to peek out the door, the hallway had changed. Doors were no longer in the same order. The once familiar lobby at the end of the hall was now gone, replaced by endless corridors lined with the same peeling wallpaper and faded carpet. Morning never came. The storm outside had stopped, but the hotel remained dark. Claire could hear distant laughter, faint and hollow, echoing through the endless hallways. She ran, trying each door, each stairwell, only to find herself back in room 7, key in hand, the note waiting on the bedside table. Years later, travelers claim they've seen the Silver Pines Hotel while driving late in Montana. Some swear it disappears when approached. Locals whisper that anyone who enters never truly leaves, that the rooms rearrange themselves, the hallways stretch forever, and the hotel's ghosts, pale and faceless, wait silently for new guests to wander in. Claire's disappearance is listed as missing, but some nights, when the wind howls across the Montana plains, people report hearing faint humming and soft footsteps echoing, just like the hotel's never-ending corridors.